everyone, I'm back. So yes, OG Lyra is back. So if you guys couldn't tell, I have a brand new 3D model from VroidStudio and I made her myself. And I'm super proud of it. It turned out so cute and I love her so much. But yeah, the reason why I decided to go with OG Lyra is because I missed her and I want to continue her legacy. I've had this character for a really long time. I've been called Lyra for many years. It's just what I go by. It's my magical name, which I'll make a whole separate video explaining about magical names and how I got my magical name and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so the only difference between this Lyra and the one from my old channel is that instead of her being a werewolf, she is a Kitsune, which makes sense if you really think about it. She does look and act more like a fox than a wolf, so yeah. But I wanted to make this video to not only explain that, you know, OG Lyra is back, for those who haven't been keeping up with my social medias or my, what do you call it, my posts, my community post thing here on YouTube. For those who have, you already know this, but for those who don't, ta-da! But yeah, so first things first, I wanted to talk about my character a little bit, like what inspired me to go back to Lyra besides of the fact that I just miss her, since this channel had a lot of changes. I went from being called Kiki and having purple hair and brown eyes, and then she had like cherry brown hair and brown eyes. I guess I wanted her to look a lot more like me, I guess. But then last summer I started playing Dungeons and Dragons for the first time with some friends from work, and it was so much fun. I was just playing like as someone's bird, and then they invited me to officially join their campaign. And so I decided to do a Kitsune race because why wouldn't I? And since I was making her and I wanted to be called Lyra because it's such a beautiful name, I love that name, and it's just, it makes me really happy. And so I decided that, well, why not make this D&D character as my new mascot for my YouTube channel. Since I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go with it, I definitely wanted to involve more storytelling that isn't just my personal life, I guess. With some fantasy elements to it, obviously. And so I decided to do that. And at first she was a nature cleric because we didn't have healers in our group at the time, so I thought being a cleric would be a good idea, and I had her be a nature cleric. But sadly I've only played like 2 games. Yeah, I did like a pre-session game with me and another friend of mine who was creating another character, and like our characters were supposed to be like best of friends, and it was supposed to be like a journey, like my character helping her character and that kind of thing. So we did like a pre-session game. And then we did a, I guess, splitting the group type of game where I played with that same friend and another friend. And that was the only time we played. So, and then they ended up creating eventually like a bigger group. And then they started playing. I was just like, well, that's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. But I decided, well, since I'm not really playing with anyone anymore, I have the freedom to change up my character a bit, since I wasn't really happy with the original character that I started playing with because her background didn't make much sense, and I just had no idea how to properly play her or roleplay as her. I wasn't sure what I wanted her personality to be like or anything like that, so it was hard for me to really get like creative and have fun with it. And so I ended up making her an Arcana cleric because, you know, witch doctor. I thought it was pretty clever. And I think I went with that for a long time. And then I decided to give her the black hair, make her look more like the breed, like the silver fox breed. And then I gave her like one purple eye, one golden eye. But after a while, I was just like, I kept looking at some of the old art that I used to have of Lyra, and I'm just like, I mean, she's already looking very much like Lyra, and I love the periwinkle eyes. And it was actually when I downloaded the VroidStudio and I decided I wanted to create my own 3D model. And then I started playing around with the periwinkle eyes, and then I brought Lyra to life, and I was like, I have to. I can't let her go. I can't. Just because I'm kind of done with the old channel, I might bring it back, but doing something different on that channel, but I haven't decided yet. But there's no reason why Lyra can't continue, especially now that I have this whole story, thanks to Dungeons and Dragons. So with that said, I actually want to read you about like the Kitsune, at least in the D&D Beyond, and like her background, because I did choose a different background for her, as well as her race, basically, or whatever. So oh yeah, I should probably mention what her race is. She is a bard, and not just any bard. She is a College of the Spirits bard. I know, very, very fitting. I chose a bard because they're like storytellers and musicians, and I thought that would be perfect for her, considering, you know, I like to tell stories, and so does she, and playing instruments and playing like the lyre harp, which makes sense, hence her name being Lyra. So I thought being a bard just makes sense. And then when I read about the spirits bard, where you can use like tarot cards, a crystal ball, and connect with the dead and that kind of thing, I'm like, this is perfect. Plus, bards are also healers too. They can also heal. So I was like, why didn't I not see this before? I would have had so much more fun whenever I played last time, but oh well, you live and you learn. I'm still very new to D&D. I only know like from what I've seen on TikToks and YouTube and that kind of thing. So yeah, but I am working on getting my own little group together, so I'm really excited to get back into playing again. I've only done solo sessions, which has been actually pretty fun for me. It's been helping me develop her story and her character a lot more, so maybe I can do a stream so that way you guys can see how I do it. I think that'd be kind of fun over on Twitch, and then do like video versions of it for YouTube, something like that. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But that's just something that I definitely would love to do if you guys are interested in stuff like that. So, but yeah. Alright, well, let's get started. Let me go ahead and read you the Kitsune portion on the D&D Beyond app. So, it says, Fox spirits of the astral plane. These powerful beings are clever and cunning tricksters, possessing a variety of special capabilities. While uncommon to find wandering the material plane, they're far from unheard of. Clever foxes. Kitsune are fox spirits that hail from the astral plane. They are born in the form of an ordinary fox, but with vastly superior intelligence. Thank you. With two tails, they could change their appearance at will to either be anthropomorphic or almost perfectly humanoid, though with fox ears, eyes, and tails. They have a perpetually youthful appearance, varying from teenage to middle ages, and never growing past that, even after thousands of years of life. Their hair and fur usually come in matching colors, with their fur and anthropomorph and ferroforms having similar patterns to those of red foxes. Kitsune society. Kitsune society is fairly advanced, possessing a good deal of magitech, being notably ahead of the time from the perspective of the material plane. No matter how quickly the material plane advances, they always appear to be ahead of the curve. Magitech is integrated so deeply that it's a part of their everyday lives. You can find it in everything, from transportation to use in their jobs to even being used in their own homes. They're generally friendly to outsiders, even particularly unpleasant-looking ones. But, just like any other society, they tend to prefer their own kind. They keep information of all types recorded in depth, with vast archives holding countless years of information on history, science, arts of all types, and anything else you could possibly think of. Libraries are never hard to find. Personality. They are tricksters by nature and are bound to mess with someone eventually. When interacting with a kitsune, expect the unexpected, as they have a great sense of humor. However, they are also, though not always, generally kind-hearted and enjoy the company of friends. They are emotional beings, and they often need more comfort than the average human or elf would when feeling sad or angry. Relations. Kitsune get along with most anyone, forming close and strong bonds with those that they like. However, if you cross them, they will tend to feel strongly about whatever you have done. They don't often hold grudges, but they are very emotional beings that do not like their emotions being dismissed. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. And then the race traits. So their dexterity and charisma score increases by 1. For the age, they age, or I guess mature, around the age of 16 and are effectively immortal, as they do not degrade as they age. In fact, only improve with age. For alignments, they generally lean towards chaotic. Kitsune can be found across all alignments, usually between some form of good or neutral, though there are always outliers. And then the walking speed's 40 feet, can speak, read, and write common and any other language of your choosing. For me, it's Sylvan. Born with 1 tail, every 100 years he will gain yet another tail, up to 9. These tails can alternatively be earned from the kitsune god or goddess through great feats. Form shift. Kitsune are born in the form of a feral fox. With their second tail, they gain the ability to shift to an anthropomorphic or kimono-mimi-like form at will. When feral, you gain advantage on stealth but are unable to use humanoid equipment effectively. Minor shapeshifting. Once they have their second tail, kitsune are additionally capable of altering minor features of their form at will, including, but not limited to, physical sex, claw length, and eye color. I could be a femboy. I have so much power. Maybe I should do a roleplay of that. So many ideas. Okay, moving on. Minor regeneration. From wounds to lost limbs, you are capable of regenerating any type of damage done to you over time. When outside of combat, roll 1 free hit die plus your constitution modifier per hour passed. Undying soul. On death, you shed your physical form, your soul form, returning to the astral plane. You may return in a newly generated body after 1d6 plus 1 days, or upon the revival of your previous form. Fox's agility. Swift, clever, and cunning. Your agility grants you an AC equivalent to 12, plus your dexterity and constitution modifier. Fox's sight. You have superior dark vision, reaching up to 120 feet. You see in dim light as if it were bright, and in darkness as if it were dim light. Cannot see color in darkness, and only see in shades of gray. Foxfire. You are able to produce foxfire, a special flame unique to kitsune. This attack does 1d8 fire damage and 1d8 your subrace element. This increases by 1d8 every 5 levels. You can choose this a number of times equivalent to your proficiency modifier. And that's the basics of the kitsune. Now there's actually quite a bit of subraces, so I'm probably not going to go into all of them, but there's things like Tengoku, which is kitsune of light, Kukan, kitsune of darkness, Kaz of wind, Seishin of mind and soul, Kasai of flame, Chikyu of earth, Yumikawa of water and acid, and then Mori of nature and poison, Sanda of electricity, Jikon, sorry, I'm probably mispronouncing these so bad, but Jikon is of time and space, Ongaku of sound, Shi of death, and of course, the biggest one, Kami, the 10-tailed kitsune god. So each of these races have their own special abilities and like power. Like I said, some can move the earth itself, some could be water benders, fire benders, you know. So you guys want to know which one I picked? I chose Yama. It literally says Kitsune of survival, question mark. These oddballs don't have a real ability to them, and more so just exist while being immune to the weirdest of things, such as getting tired. Most have given up trying to understand why they exist. Ability score increase. Your constitution score increases by 2. And then for skill proficiencies, there's expertise and survival, and I could choose another one. Enduring spirit. You are an oddball. You do not have a specific ability and are instead immune to heat, cold, and pressure, as well as having the benefits of being undead without being undead. Which basically means I'm immune to like dark magic and things like that. So for anyone who's trying to just put dark magic on me, it's just not gonna work. You're also immune to exhaustion. Nobody knows why you exist. I don't know why, I just thought it was so funny to me because with, I don't know, like all these other kitsunes, like they can do all kinds of things, and then there's me, a Yama, who is just doesn't get cold or hot or tired. Just has weird immunities. It's just an oddball of a fox. And I was like, that's literally perfect. So for backgrounds, you could choose all kinds of different backgrounds for your D&D character, and then I found the perfect one. And it's called Spiritkin. I think you all know where this is going, but I'll go ahead and read this really quick. So it says that everyone living on Obojima comes in contact with spirits to one degree or another. Your interaction with the spirit realm has always occurred with peculiar regularity. All your life, you've had a special kinship with spirits that few share in. You've come to love their food, their culture, and their people more than the average material being. These habits have drawn fascination, suspicion, and confusion from locals. But that doesn't stop them from enlisting your talents when spirit stuff gets weird. Skill proficiencies is persuasion. And for the background feature, it says connections beyond material. You have come to know 2 spirits by name, and through your relationship have learned special rituals and techniques that allow you to find them across the physical and spirit realms. By using 2 unique ingredients that you choose when taking this background, you can contact these spirits from any distance or plane of existence. The ritual you enact to utilize these ingredients and contact a spirit is uniquely your own. It might involve a tea ceremony, or perhaps the burning of the ingredients and partaking in the aromatic smoke they produce. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? And when I decided to look up, like, how good the background was to, like, the Spirits Bard Kitsune, here's what it has to say. The Spiritkin background could be a good fit for a College of Spirits Bard Kitsune in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. The Spiritkin background, which focuses on a connection to the Feywild or other spirit realms, aligns well with the themes and mechanics of the College of Spirits Bard. Here's why. College of Spirits theme. The College of Spirits Bard is all about connecting with and drawing power from spirits and stories. The Spiritkin background reinforces this connection, suggesting the bard has a natural affinity for the spirit realm. Kitsune traits. Kitsune, with their connection to foxes and the spirit world, can enhance the thematic synergy with the Spiritkin background. The Kitsune's ability to access certain magic powers can also be used to draw upon the spirit world. Background features. The Spiritkin background offers skill proficiencies and equipment that can further enhance a bard's abilities as a College of Spirits Bard. For example, the proficiency in either nature or arcana and the ability to learn the language of spirits can be beneficial for accessing spirit-based knowledge and abilities. In summary, the Spiritkin background provides a thematic and functional match for a College of Spirits Bard Kitsune, allowing for a character with a strong connection to the spirit realm and the power to wield that connection for their bardic abilities. It's just perfect. It's funny how things just connect so easily. But yeah, so that is, I guess, the gist of my story. And then I live in a haunted shrine with 2 little ghosts that I like to help. And for those who don't know, Bajima is just a magical, whimsical world that is inspired by Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild game and a lot of Studio Ghibli movies. So I thought it was really, really cute. So yeah, I definitely plan on making tons of like as animated as possible type of ASMR videos, kind of going over her adventures and her story, and like you going along the adventures with her and things like that. I think it'll be super fun and super cute, with of course some ghost storytelling along the way. You know, gotta read some spooky stories. So yeah, so whether you're into spooky stuff and like spooky narrating stuff, or you're into the more fantasy and magical, whimsical, like comforting ASMR, I got you covered. I'm a very whimsy goth girl, okay? But yeah, so, and with that being said, let's go into, I guess, my personal life and like a small little life update. So first of all, I moved back to Florida. Yay! So I lived in Texas for about 3 years, I think, and it did serve me very well. I definitely learned a lot, and it definitely like helped me to grow. However, it felt like my purpose there in Texas was done, and I just felt like I wasn't really going anywhere. And Florida just has a lot of more possibilities for me, and I have a lot of friends here, and I have my family here, and you know, life is short, so why just stay in one place where I'm comfortable but like bored, you know, when I can take the risk. And now I've been enrolled in a beauty school near me for massage therapy, so I'm hoping to start that soon. I didn't mention I was going to start it next month, but I have to push it back because I'm still job searching. But I do have an audition and interview to be a ghost tour guide. I know, how perfect is that? But since it's only like an evening job, so it's not like your typical like full like 8-hour shifts, I'm trying to look for like a day job as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on the whole process because I find it so exciting, and I'll definitely take you on some adventures with me for different places that I go. There's a lot of witchy and pagan festivals that's going to be happening near me that I want to explore, and yeah, it's just so exciting. And I definitely plan to make more videos for my YouTube as well as for my Patreon and my Ko-fi page, which I will have in the link below. And luckily I can disable not safe for work for Koikatsu, so I can do a little bit of a gameplay with that just for funsies. And speaking of gameplay, I definitely plan to redo my Baldur's Gate 3 video because obviously I'm not a nature cleric anymore. And I was actually able to get a mod where I can actually be a spirits bard. So that's going to be really, really fun. So I get to like kind of see that class in action, so to speak. So I plan on doing another let's play of that, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So, but yeah, other than that, I think I covered everything. Wow, I'm actually shocked. Usually I talk forever. I thought it was going to be really rusty, but turns out I'm still a professional. But yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I will leave all the links to everything you need to know in the description, such as my Twitch, so that way you can watch me live, because I'm going to start streaming again. I'll have my social medias like Twitter, or I guess it's called X. So such a dumb name. Instagram. I've been very active on Instagram again, and as well as my Ko-fi page and my Patreon. I only have Patreon just in case for people who prefer that over Ko-fi, but I like Ko-fi because you can use it for commission, so you can commission me when I have slots open. I can also control how many slots I can have open so I don't get overwhelmed again. And I also have like a tier thing, kind of like Patreon, where you pay like monthly for like bonus content, as well as like just general like merch, or not merch, general like donation type stuff. But eventually, if I ever have merch, I can also use that on the coffee page. So that's gonna be really fun. I can't wait to eventually do that as well. I definitely want to make like my own little like witchy creations to sell. I think that'll be really nice. But yeah, and I actually have 2 musical instruments. I have another kalimba, but it's in shape of a star and it sounds really pretty. And I actually have my very own lyre harp. I just have to finish tuning it and practicing, but I can't wait to like start playing like my own little music for the background of my videos. I think that's gonna be so lovely. But yeah, so with that being said, OG Lyra is back in action and I am so excited. I have my new model and it's gonna be really great. Hopefully I can use it while I'm like gaming and streaming, but I guess we'll see. I do have my own gaming PC, so I'm ready. Maybe I'll do a test stream. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Take care, everyone.